Welcome back to the channel everyone, it's Tom over at Gas. Today in the workshop we've got another Range Rover Evoque in for timing chains. You just hear from the rattle from starter. 2.0 Ingenium engine. So what I'll do is I'll start stripping it all down and then we'll have a look and see what the issue is with the chain. So we've got the engine stripped down, timing cover removed. And then you can just see there our bottom chain, and then we've got top chain as well. All the guides still intact. I've not come across one yet where they've been broken up. I have seen them when other people have done jobs and the guides can all break up and fall in the sump itself. So I think this was just a case of a slack chain. But what I'll do is I'll just turn the engine over and we'll just make sure. So you can just see there, look, all that slack in the chain. Yeah, it's really slack. It's normally always the bottom chain I find, although that top chain is quite slack as well, to be honest. Yeah, there's quite a lot of slack there. So yeah, so just a set of chains on this one, new guides. I do always replace the camshaft, like adjust the solenoid while I'm in here. You can do that top chain without stripping all the gearbox off if it did fail in the future, but while it's all off we'll just replace it while we're in here. So yeah, all the bits, genuine Land Rover, new tensioners. I don't replace the sprockets, not too bad, to be honest. I know some people replace them, but I've never really seen the need to replace any on the ones I've done yet. So I'll go ahead, I'll get all the timing tools in, and then I'll just show you how we time it all up. So I've got the timing tools in. So first one is the crankshaft. This is actually from the other side of the engine. So that just goes on the crank pulley and then they screw through into the engine block itself. So that just holds the crank in place. And then I'll just take you up. And then we've got our camshaft locking tool, which just sits behind the sprockets there. So this front tool, you only need that if you're going to replace the actual camshaft adjuster, which we are. So that will go on there, lock in, and then you can loosen the bolt, which I've already done, so I can take that off for now. Yeah, there's the tool behind there. And then when I install the new chain, I'll show you afterwards, but there'll be some darker links, so they'll line up. One there, I think there's a mark on this other camshaft sprocket, and then I'll just show you underneath. And then underneath we've got a mark just on this front pulley there, which will line up with a darker link when we put the new chain on. And then on the back of that there's a little mark, a little arrow on there. And then we've got another little dot just on this sprocket. And then we've got another arrow just on that guide. But I'll get the new chain on and I'll just show you the darker links. The reason we need the tool is because there's no markings on the bottom pulley. So we just lock that from the other end, put our locking tools in, and then we're good to go. I'll just get all the new chains on and then I'll show you what I mean in regards to the timing. So we've got the new timing chain and all the guides and new tensioners on. So if the camera will pick that up, you can just see a darker link right there. And there is a little arrow on there. You probably can't see on the camera. And then same again, a dark link there with a dot punch on that pulley. And then same on that one, darker link just there. Nothing on the bottom pulley, that's why you need the locking tools on the back. And then for the upper chain, you just see it there, darker link, and there's an arrow on there. I'll just show you at the top. And we've got our darker link on top of each sprocket. This one lines up with this mark in the middle, and then there's a little arrow on the sprocket which is difficult to see. But new adjuster, like I say, while we got it all in bits, I always fit a new sprocket on there. So the other sprockets I leave, like I say, but new tensioners, guides. Unless I can see anything wrong with the sprockets, then I'll change them. But that one is all done. What I'll do is I'll just turn it over, then we can just make sure there's no slack left on the chain. As you see, the chain's nice and tight now. No slack. Just come around a bit more. Yeah, nice and tight. Like I say, that's got rid of all our slack on both chains. And that is the issue with these engines. So if you get a rattle on start up, like I say, it will be timing chain on these. Worst case, we've seen like the guides break up, depending how bad the rattle is. Once you hear them rattle from cold, just get it done as soon as you can, really. If you leave it any longer, that's when you can get like the guides break up, fall into your sump, and then it's a bit of a bigger job. But you just got to take so much off to get to it. I mean, got the subframe over there, transfer box, hub assembly for the drive shafts, and then we just got obviously the wheels, mud guards, inner wheel arches, battery, intercooler, air box. Yeah, just so much to take out the vehicle just to get to the timing chains. But what I'll do now is I'll clean the surface up on my timing cover. So I'll seal that up. Like I say, all the parts I use from Land Rover, so all genuine, sealant, everything. What I'll do is I'll put the timing cover on, and then I'll leave that for about 12 hours, let that sealant go off before I put the gearbox on, because I don't want to put it on and then put the gearbox on and then it kind of pull the timing cover away, and we could have a leak, so we'll just let that set off before we put any weight on it. And then, like I say, we're not doing the job twice then for any leaks. And we've got a new crankshaft oil seal to go on. That also needs, when you put that in, you've got to leave that for a few hours. And then what that will do is that will start to expand out and seal. So you don't use no oil or anything when you're putting that in, but you will need a special tool. So there's quite a few special tools involved in this job. Like I say, gearbox over there, that's a heavy old unit. Not really a job I'd kind of advise doing on your driveway. I think you kind of struggle if you used to do it yourself. Possible, but there's just so much you've got to take off, especially with these automatic transmissions. Manual is probably a little bit easier. I've not done a manual yet. Normally always automatics. But yeah, that one is that. So like I say, I'll get it all built back up, but I hope it's helped some of you a little bit. Just if you've got a rattle on these engines, you can see exactly what's kind of going on. Like I say, it is normally the timing chain, so you'll get it replaced, and then you won't have no more rattle. But it's just nice to actually see what goes on. So I always use, like I say, genuine parts. There is aftermarket kits that come with the sprockets, chains, tensioners, but when you're this involved in a job, you want to make sure you got all the latest, obviously, parts. If Land Rover have changed anything, then we've got all the upgraded, the latest parts. So it's not a job you want to be doing twice. So always stick with genuine, to be honest, but that's just my preference. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already, and give the video a like, and we'll see you on the next one.